shit and it's why she stuck around. Ay, went through hell and back 3 times to show you I was down. But now I'm followed by these cameras and it's money on the ground. And if I bring you around my mama, promise you won't make a sound. Cause, ayy, she got no manners, huh? She suck dick on camera, huh? Ayy, but she get pampered, huh? Backseat, I be ramming her. Ayy, but I can't stand her, huh? She don't meet my standards, huh? Touching on what she thought was my dick, but that's my blammer, huh? Oh, she bad, yeah. I might bag that. When I'm in the mood, she send me pussy pics on Snapchat. Babe, I'm in my groove, so don't be bitchin', bitches bag, babe. But you moving too fast, baby, I think we need to backtrack. Can't skip foreplay, nah. Shoes is Dolce, Ain't Gabbana, your ex in the Kia Forte, I know my mama, you won't smoke, nigga, we won't play, If it's about drama, we want beef, we want the whole state.
Have you ever watched someone that's good on mobile that got your attention and inspired you to play on mobile? But the problem is you don't know how to actually play on mobile. Well, most of us did, and that is why I'm here to help you improve, hopefully. Settings. Now, most mobile players at the beginning will have a hard time to find the best settings for them. That is pretty common for most beginners, but if I were to tell you the truth, as long as you find the most comfortable settings that suits your gameplay, you don't have anything else to worry. Make sure you find the best settings that you are comfortable with and try to practice with it. I highly suggest to change your button size to 100 if you still haven't. Like bro, don't use a small button size, it will ruin your movement. And for the sensitivity, don't make it too high and also don't make it too low. Put it around 40 to 60, it's one of the most important core for your PvP, your sensitivity. Lastly, for the FOV, it doesn't really matter if you go for low or high FOV. If you want better aim, I suggest using 89 to 95 FOV, but if you want to be a hardcore like me, then make it even more higher to max. Playstyle. There are many definitions of a playstyle. So basically, a playstyle is the habit you form after playing a lot of games. As you guys can see right now, I am playing and comboing players on 1 CPS with my thumb, while the others are using claws or Abdullah to play. That is what you call a playstyle. And I know some of you might ask, what is the best playstyle? Well, the answer to that question, it all depends on your preference. It doesn't really matter what playstyle you use, what matters the most is your aim and movement. You can still be good in any sorts of playstyle. How to combo and strafe, old touch controls. There are many ways to start a combo on mobile, but before we start talking about combos, let's talk about the CPS. Do we really need to know if CPS matters to start a combo? Well, for most players it is a yes. But here on mobile, you can just simply main 1 CPS and go crazy with it. It's important to remember that your aim is more important than CPS when it comes to mobile. So let's go straight ahead and teach you how to combo on mobile with just 1 CPS. W tapping, the most basic and easy way to combo. It's basically just rushing forward while hitting your enemy. And for this one, we have to get more higher CPS so we can send our opponent flying to the air, then switchly change to 1 CPS. 1 CPS is basically just hitting your enemy once while in a combo. Focus on the circle. So every time I tap the enemy, I switch my thumb to swipe the screen or just hold it on the side of the screen. Then I tap my opponent once again and do it repeatedly. The reason why I'm doing that is so I can perfectly time my hits to perform a 1 CPS combo. You have to understand when to time your hits when you're 1 CPSing or else it won't register. So when the enemy turns red, don't hit them yet. Wait till the red cooldown is gone, then that's your time to hit them again. If this doesn't work, just go to YouTube and search metronome 120 beats per minute. Every time you hear the click, that's where you're also going to hit your opponent. Strafing or circle strafe. This is one of my most favorite moves on mobile. I main this one. With this you don't need higher CPS. This is by far the deadliest movement you can use against any players. It is also very effective against PC players. The reason why this is OP on mobile is because you don't really need to perform a higher CPS. You can do it with just 1 CPS and eventually start to combo them on the air. But that's not it. It can also make your opponent hard to hit you. And strafing is just as important as combos. And if you master it, you will become even more better. So strafing is basically just circling around while hitting the player. As I've said, this is useful because it can make your opponent lose their aim. And if you're lucky enough, you can send them fly and combo them. Watch closely on how I strafe. Focus on my movement and my hits. Once you have perfected W tapping and strafing, you can now go ahead and destroy players or even put a style in your combo like this. And since there are a lot of players that plays on the Hive, projectiles will be your biggest advantage to get a combo easily. How to combo and strafe, new touch controls. Now that we are done with the old touch controls, let's move on to the new touch controls. I know some of you will skip to this part since y'all want to know how to dominate on the new controls, but the technique to that is to simply apply your skills on the old touch controls to the new touch controls. So if you skipped, you have to go back and watch it again. Now the reason why the new touch controls is not really that hard to learn unlike the one with crosshair, it's because you are simply playing the same as the old touch controls. There are no special buttons except for the joystick. That's why it's important to learn the old touch controls first so you can apply your skills on the new one. Advice to become better on mobile. My advice to become better is to keep practicing and continue to move forward. The reason why you are still bad because you give up so fast. But Haya, no matter what I do, I'm still bad. Well, that's your problem, to be honest. Don't hate me, but I want to motivate you. You can't expect to become the best mobile MCPE player in just a day or weeks of practicing. It takes time and patience. It took me about nearly 5 months to become good on mobile. So if you complain and give up, then you won't get there. Be strong and stay positive even when you are just practicing, cause you'll get there eventually. Nothing is impossible if you work hard for it.